Guns and motorcycles. Those two things could go hand in hand more than you think. Almost like peanut butter and jelly. Almost like Oreo cookies with your cup of milk. I am for the Second Amendment. I am for people arming themselves, protecting themselves and their families from potential threats. If you plan on riding a motorcycle and carrying a gun with you, I think this video is for you. What I would advocate for is that if you're on a motorcycle, you're by yourself, and there's a situation that comes up with an aggressive driver, whatever the case may be, in any situation where your life is at threat, you have the chance of dying because of subject A. I would highly recommend get on your throttle and get out of that situation. Turn away, slow down, accelerate, pass someone, whatever it has to be, but get out of the way if you can. The last resort is that you would reach for your CCW and take action if you feel that your life is about to end. Something else that you have to think about is drawing your weapon, drawing your CCW while in traffic, while being on a motorcycle. You're typically wearing more layers when you ride, and drawing your CCW for use if something goes bad is something that you need to keep in mind and something that you need to train for. If you ride a motorcycle and you carry a CCW on yourself, have you ever trained to actually draw your firearm while being seated on a motorcycle? I would really suggest that you actually train and practice that. And I think you'll be pretty amazed, depending on where it is on you, at how difficult it may be, depending on the gear that you're wearing. So practice that. Generally speaking, the majority of the people on the road that have no association to motorcycles, they don't ride, they don't care about them, they don't want to buy one. Generally speaking, people like that dislike motorcyclists. There are a lot of situations that can come up with just normal, regular riding where your life can be at risk. And just to put things into perspective, this is a 2024 BMW S1000R. It's got 20,000 miles on it right now. Or I think about 20,000. 19,458 right there. And this is one of many bikes that I've owned and had. I do a lot of riding. And with the lots of riding that I do, I've had not situations in which I would actually draw my CCW and actually take action on, but I've had people show their aggression to me while they're driving. And sometimes it literally feels like you did nothing wrong, but someone will just come up from behind you and leave 2 inches of space between your tire and their front bumper. For whatever reason, I don't know, but people do get aggressive. And I think as a motorcyclist, just to be prepared for the situation that if someone ever really does cross the line and they're really trying to, go to the extreme and take your life, you got to be ready for it. You got to be prepared. You got to be trained. Practice drawing your firearm on your motorcycle. Go to the gun range. Shoot that firearm. Practice. Send hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of rounds through that thing to get acquainted to it, to get well with shooting accurately and precise. When you have a CCW on yourself and you're on a motorcycle, you especially start feeling the size of the CCW because you're hunched over, you've got extra layers of clothing on you, you're moving around more than you are when you're just sitting back and relaxing in a car. Whatever it is that you want to carry or that you decide to carry, make sure it is the proper and right size for you. And again, this would vary depending on where you're going to carry it, whether it be appendix or 5 o'clock, 3 o'clock, or in a bag or whatever else. You can adjust the size of the CCW according to that, but just keep that in mind. if you do plan on carrying while riding on a motorcycle, that the smaller the CCW is, the easier, obviously, that it will be. Something that I've carried personally would be the Glock 43X, the P365X Macro Comp. Is actually my daily carry right now. Both great CCWs, both great firearms. I would suggest you look into them if you're interested in getting started. Every state has different laws and rules and regulations. Look into the laws and regulations of that particular state that you're in. You need to know that from the inside out. There cannot be any sense of confusion in terms of where can I carry, where I can't, what can I or can I not do with my firearm. Read up on your laws and regulations. There are plenty of videos on YouTube where you can read up on that stuff and listen to and get info. But that is just something that I would highly encourage for every gun owner, even if it's not on a motorcycle, if it's on a car or just whatever. You need to know the laws. There's many different ways of how and where you can carry your pew-pew if you decide to carry one, and really it's a matter of personal choice for you to find something that is comfortable enough for you, and also something that would work when and if, and we all pray that it won't happen, but if we were to ever have to use our pew-pew, we can access it quickly enough, we can get to it fast enough, and we can do what we need to do to protect ourselves and or our family. Now, something that is really, really important that ties into what I was just talking about is retention. You need to have a holster that's got good retention. You know, you can't be flying down the road at 70 miles an hour and have that thing flying out. Okay, you can't do that. So make sure that it's a good, a proper holster. I would recommend having a Kydex type holster where there's an audible click in when you push your firearm in, and it sits in well, tight enough that if you're carrying it, say at your 3 o'clock position, 5 o'clock position, and you know, the wind's rustling around you, that thing's not going to come flying out. Or if you come to a fall, you also don't want to have that thing come flying out and then landing who knows where, depending on the fall. Whatever holster it is that you decide to wear and to use, make sure it is one that has good retention. Guys, if you did enjoy this video, you know what to do. You know how YouTube works. I'm not going to give you the whole spiel on what to do. You know what to do. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Ride safe. Be safe. Peace.